Welcome back, everybody, to the messy shop you now know as the Tamara Bowling Pro Shop here. So we've got a new making video. Had a little bit of a lull in terms of balls, coming in, but we have the new Blue Coral Venom from Motiv. It's a pretty ball. I've got the sort of stalwart, right? Some people think the GOAT, the original Venom Shock. So, where are we going here? The Shock is an interesting line. Let's just take a look at it first of all. So it's a sort of light blue, dark blue, coercion hybrid. Good looking ball. It's got 4,000 LSS. So there's definitely some grit, coming out of the factory. I mean, not a heavy grit. I can't remember. I feel like the Venom Shock was definitely a heavier grit out of box. The Venom Shock was the coercion MFS, so that's like medium friction solid. The Coral Blue Venom is MFH, so medium friction hybrid. If you watched one of the shows recently, EJ Tackett was throwing this ball on TV, so I mean, he makes everything look good, so maybe it's better seeing me throw it because I can't make everything look good. But it kind of looks like the way it is for an average, rev rate tweener. But anyway, this Coral Blue has an asymmetry to it, and I think the idea of having a gear core with asymmetry is really nothing more than to give ball driller some options that were taken away from when you can't do the weight holes, right? So I mean, all in all, I expect the gear core to kind of operate the way it always does. I mean, it's a low differential ball. Again, if you watch EJ, he hooks the lanes, but generally speaking, the gear core is not really a kind of core that you want to necessarily have to circle the lanes with, right? Because it's a low differential, so it's not gonna, have a huge bang off the lane. It has good shape, but it's a control shape, right? So I mean, and I think if you see me throw it, even for me, it's a little bit more than control. So don't get me wrong, it generates pretty nice angle, but there are better options, I guess. Let's say if you want to really open up the lanes. If you don't have 550 rev rate like EJ Tackett. Now, looking at the Motiv chart, they have it sort of right next to the Venom Shock. So obviously, it's as a hybrid, you would expect that it moves a little bit towards the angular part of their chart. But they don't have it anywhere near the angular part of the chart. It's just to the right of what they consider, the smooth Venom Shock. So, the blue coral. I mean, the way I look at it, you obviously, I expect it to be a touch cleaner than the Shock. So, these all say medium light conditions. I mean, anybody who's had a Venom Shock knows you can throw it on almost any condition. So, take it for what it's worth. I don't really look at it like that. Way I look at it is, where does it fit in the bag? And again, if you guys have watched the arsenal building videos, you know what I'm getting at here. So, I kind of have the Venom Shock as a sort of the smack dab mid control ball. I do find this ball to be pretty angular for a mid-control ball. So I'm interested to see, what's going to happen with this. Like, is the hybrid going to make it later and even more angular, or just a little later? And I don't know, but suffice it to say, my guess is that this is also a mid-control ball. And the last asymmetric ball, right? So right now you've got the Shock, the coral blue, which is an asymmetric, it's a symmetric, asymmetric, and then you have the gear cord, same as this, fatal venom, right? Which would be, if I didn't bring it down, but would be here, and it'd be the kind of theoretically the most angular ball, but really it's the cleanest ball of them. We used to have the Venom recoil, which a lot of people liked. For me, it was a slightly different variation or different take on another mid-control type of ball, and I think we might see the same here. Again, Motiv says that this is kind of ups the ante a little bit on something like the Venom recoil. Time will tell, but it's hard to imagine kind of a bad Venom ball or any ball with a gear core being bad, and generally the coercion covers have been really good for Motiv. So I'm really excited to throw this, and the reason why I brought the Venom Shock down. So I've got like I think it's like a 60 by 4 by 40 layout on this, right? So I'm going to do the same layout on the coral blue, blue coral, if I remember, remember how to say it. So I'm going to do the same thing, and that way we can get a kind of, apples to apples look, see where we're really going to be. So I'm going to start punching up, and we'll come back and close up. All right, so we've got holes. We're gonna finish this up, but we basically got, like I said, about 60 by 4 by 40. So same layout as on the Venom Shock. And we look forward to throwing this blue coral venom from Motiv in the next few days, and we'll see you soon.